In an earlier video, I showed you how to create forms using the utility JotForm. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create forms from scratch using HTML tags. Let's go back to our forms web page that we created earlier. We're doing all our work in our internet directory, so let's go there. Let's double click, and under there we had created a directory called forms and a forms.html web page. So let's open that up and let's edit it some more. So let's open up with our favorite text editor. In my case, I'm using Site, so I can zoom in and show you in more detail what I'm working on. Let's create an additional heading here showing that we're going to create a form for our users to register. We're not going to build the actual functionality for them to actually register with us. I'm just going to show you how we can use HTML tags to create the form elements that you would need for them to fill out some information if they want to register with us. So first we use the form tags, an opening and closing tag, to tell the browser that the following should be rendered as a form. The following is going to contain several HTML tags that are form elements. One of the form elements that we're going to use is the input tag. And the input tag has several types. The text type, the input text type, is just a one-line input field that people can type in just any string. So we're going to use that for our first name or last name that we want our users to give us to register with our website. So there it is. So two input fields of type text. Let's save that and see how that renders. So let's double click on the forms that are HTML, and when it comes up, we see that there's a form that we had created earlier from JotForm, and here are the two new fields we just created, our first name and last name. And our users, as they visit our website, they can register with this form. Okay, so a couple more things that we can add to this form let's see. Let's create an additional input field, but in this case, we're going to make a submit type of input field. And what this creates is a button for users to be able to submit the entire form. So type submit creates a button for them to click on and submit the information. If they click on it, it gets submitted. All right, so let's continue. Let's go back to our web page and let's add a couple more fields for them to fill out. We're going to add a field, gender, where they can tell us if they are a male or female. The type is going to be radio buttons. Okay, so these are radio buttons. These are selectable fields that can be one of many. Right. So in this case, we're going to give them two choices, whether they're male or female. There it is. We just created a radio button with the ability to choose that they're male, or we're going to give them another choice, female. Here's another radio button we just created, female. Let's save it and let's reload. There it is. We have the male. Now we have the female. There it is. Let's add a break here just to show that we've created the two radio buttons and that the submit button should render in the following line. It should break the line. There it is. So there's the submit button on its own line. All right, so let's add a couple more fields to this page. One other thing that usually you ask for people that are registering is the date of birth. So here's a field, and for this we're going to use a different type of input field. It's called a select input type that gives the user the ability to choose several options, so a value from various options. So for instance, date of birth has really three fields. One is the month, the day, and the year for the date of birth. In this case here, we're giving we're creating a drop down that has several options: January, February, March, April, May. We're only going to go and show 5 months, but you can imagine, creating the entire 12 months. You can go ahead and do that on your when you're following this video and try to and complete the assignment. Let's create another select drop down, allowing them to create submit the day that they were born. We'll create several option tags here with a day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on and so forth. So the first one is a drop down for selecting the month, and this one is another drop down for them to allow them to select the day of birth. So you should, in your assignment, you should complete it and go from 1 to all the way down to 31. So let's save that. Let's see what that looks like. Let's reload, and we see that now we have the month drop down and the day drop down. Right, so if you complete this in the assignment, you would have all 12 months and all 31 days. Let's go back here and add just yet another select drop down. And in this case, we're going to give them several years for them to select. Usually, when we give them options for the years, we go from the current year, like 2010, and then provide several years before that. So for instance, 2010, 2009, 2008, and so on and so forth. 2009, there we go. And you provide enough years for them to show that they're at least 18 years old. So perhaps not 2010. We would go back at least 18 years. So there we are. So we have the date of birth. Let's go back here. Let's add yet another field. In this case, we're going to create a comment box for them to write any free-form comment that they might have. For that, we're going to use the text area HTML tag. And what this does, it creates several lines of text, a box for them to be able to type several lines of text. So let's save that and reload. There it is. So it's a box. They can type whatever they want here. Right? So just some random text. So we're going to say that they're saying that this site is a great site. They can type in their first name. They can type in their last name and tell us their gender. Notice we haven't made any of these required fields. Okay, so we're done with our form. Now we need to upload this web page to our website. We're going to load our FTP surfer. We're going to run this and log into our account and go to that directory where we had originally uploaded our forms. The directory was the forms directory. In there, if you remember, we had a forms.html web file. All right, we're going to upload a brand new version, and we're going to replace it because we had updated. Let's minimize that and go to our online website, so CE Web, there it is, so that's us. Well, let's log in. That takes us to our index page. We click on that, notice that here's the form that we created earlier with JotForm, and here's the form we just created. We created locally, and now we upload it, and now it's live online. That's great.